Good morning and or good afternoon. If you've been waiting and looking for the session on blockchain for land registries, you're in the right space. Welcome to the GVA conference day one. And we are looking forward to providing you with a solid 10 minutes of awareness and education on blockchain for land registries, the transformation of global land registry systems, protecting rights and advancing economic development with blockchain. Blockchain for global land registries. Is this the promised land or simply wishful thinking at this point? And I hope at the end of this session we can have a conceptual idea of how to answer those two questions. It's a short session. We'll do three things. The first is a revisit of what land registries are for. We'll talk a little bit about challenges to blockchain adoption by government land registries. And we'll talk about some use cases out there in pilot programs versus actual implementation. And there are some very, very well-written use case studies or summaries on some of these pilot programs, which I can send you. Take note of my email, jmarkunas@powerofchain.com, there at the bottom of this slide. And I'll be happy to dig them out of my archives and send them to you. So the first thing we'll do is visit what the land registry system is supposed to do. They are systems by which matters concerning ownership, possession, or other rights of real property are recorded and preserved. To maintain records regarding land and other real estate, to properly assess its value, and to collect what some homeowners don't like to pay, property taxes, right? These systems are supposed to promote internal confidence between its people, commercial enterprises, and its government. And this is not always the case, especially in less developed countries. And finally, documents and data recorded is usually the information that shows legal ownership and provides protection to the consumer or the owner, which leads to what we call a bundle of rights. In the United States, the highest level of ownership is fee simple, the fee simple bundle of rights, which gives you the right to use it, occupy it, abandon it, sell it, lease it, mine it, refuse to sell it, put covenants on the property, and so on, put a mortgage. And so this fee simple ownership bundle of rights is absolutely fundamental to a country's economic development. And I think blockchain can help preserve and enhance the economic development of a country using blockchain in their land registry system. Some of the challenges to blockchain adoption, that is by government agencies, in particular land registry offices, as opposed to the other side of the coin, which is the private side of real estate. Some aspects are quicker to adopt and use blockchain, such as for transaction use, buy, sell, lease, invest, tokenization, fractionalization, crowdfunding, use of it in mortgage lending, so on. But there's been the obstacle with government or land registries is complicated to a certain degree because there's politics involved. These legacy systems are protected. There's a disinterest in embracing new innovation and new technology. They want to protect jobs, I guess. And there's also a general lack of education and awareness of what blockchain is, what it can do, what it can't. That is to say, in the industry, we need to do a better job of articulating what blockchain is and isn't, and its complete value proposition, and increasing efficiencies in the land registry, decreasing costs, and providing a better service to the citizens of the country. Use cases, pilot programs in blockchain adoption, actual implementation. Interesting enough, the very first blockchain pilot program was done in 2014 in the Central American country of Honduras. Honduras contracted with an American blockchain company and started to transfer titles as part of the pilot program in an area of Honduras which consisted of very, very expensive coveted land in a beach area. Wealthy landowners who had become wealthier, accumulating land, not so much through legal processes, but a stop to this program, this pilot program. There's a case study written on it, very interesting, and I have that in my archives I can send you. Another one in the US, though, started in 2017. It's often referred to quite often as the Cook County pilot program in the state of Illinois, where the city of Chicago is. And Cook County was a 9-month project, pilot program, where they show that title can be safely and securely transferred to chain. Since then, there has been no adoption or implementation of blockchain in Cook County, but there's a nice case study written about it. The city of South Burlington in the state of Vermont on the East Coast also did a pilot program in 2017-18, and they did not implement blockchain after that. I should say there are 3,400 counties in the 50 states in the United States. County recorder's offices, what we call land registry offices here. Only 2 have adopted blockchain, and they were adopted. These 2 counties are in the state of Wyoming, Carbon County and Teton County. And it's no big surprise, I guess, that Wyoming was the base for these 2 counties to use blockchain. Wyoming has passed over a dozen pieces of legislation, crypto and blockchain legislation. At the end of 2017, a blockchain pilot was completed in Brazil in the southern state of Rio Grande do Sul. And there's a very good case study written on that one by 2 academic groups, one in Canada and one in Brazil. And no further adoption of blockchain by this particular land registry office, nor has Brazil really moved forward in blockchain adoption for their land registries, although they are researching it and studying it as we speak now. Sweden's been noted to have done a pilot program. They've done 2 projects, 2 from 2017 to 2020. Sweden has a very good system. It's a complicated system because they provide a lot of other services within the land registry ecosphere. Sweden has not adopted blockchain yet, continues to study it. One country that has adopted blockchain on a national level is the Republic of Georgia. They implemented a parallel system to their current system, the legacy system. So they have a backup blockchain, and recording all the records on a permanent basis, immutable. And one of the reasons I understand from some research is they wanted to record everything on a backup basis, on a permanent basis, because of a very aggressive neighbor to the north. And if you look at a map, you'll see who that aggressive neighbor is. And there's a case study written on the Republic of Georgia as well. The United Kingdom, Her Majesty's Land Registry, HMLR, is in a project currently still called Digital Street. And they have been doing a pilot program related to blockchain as well. They have not adopted it yet. Developing countries are in special need, I think, of blockchain to help combat a variety of issues such as corruption and data collection and things of that nature. But part of the problem is these developing countries sometimes don't really have a land registry system alive. Sometimes they're maybe paper-based as well, as opposed to digitized. You have to have a digitized system first before you can use blockchain. So some of the companies that have gone out, some of these blockchain companies have gone into these other countries such as South Africa, Rwanda, Zaire, Mexico. They end up actually doing more digitization work than blockchain work. But it's a start. In South America, more countries are starting to look at blockchain, such as Peru. Colombia is one. Another one that's looking at blockchain. GBA has a blockchain platform, and we have been discussing and have proposals out to 5 blockchain land registries in Colombia. So it's a big deal for countries who need to have a more advanced system, where it's a secure system. So I think the developing countries are going to move faster than developed countries. So this brings us back full circle to the 2 questions I asked earlier. Blockchain for land registries, is it the promised land, or is it simply wishful thinking? I think at this point, it is going to be the promised land. We're not there yet. Like I mentioned earlier, the industry needs to do more outreach, more education, and I think industry has to be more unified in how we articulate blockchain use. But it's the promised land, and it's coming very fast. Thanks for joining me, and I hope that we can do this, advance this to another level of discussion the next time around. Thank you.